Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Figure It Out Productions. The following video is part of our Quick Shoot series. Hey guys, it's Adam here, and recently I took a trip out to the UK, as I'm sure you're painfully aware of at this point. The circumstances of why I was there will be discussed later in this video, but I'd actually been there 2 years ago. It's a pretty cool store. I did a video on it at the time, and I wanted to do an update video while I was there, in addition to, again, other things that will be discussed later in this video. For now, I'm just going to show you guys a quick tour of the place. So it's inside of like a mall. It's not like a standalone store somewhere. So I don't remember exactly where the mall is. There is a link to their Facebook page in the description. You can check them out there, as well as there's going to be a bunch of pictures up there. Actually, they're already up there of me and a bunch of other people who are visiting the store. It was really very cool. So inside the store, which again is very small, it's got just a sea of things. You know, there's a bunch of PlayStation 2 there and GameCube. Now you can see there's a lot of PS1 there. And I did my best to try and hold on the shots a little bit. I know you guys appreciate that more. Although I'll tell you, that's way more awkward to film than you would think. Even when you get like permission to film and everything, it's, I don't know, something about it is awkward when you're just standing there and like slowly panning over everything. But so you guys, I hope you guys appreciate the sacrifice. Oh, an exploder for the Xbox. I didn't even notice that until now. Oh well. So yeah, lots of cool stuff back there. There's some toys and some Atari 7800 stuff. I was surprised to see that. That is actually a PAL cartridge. I checked it out. Various all sorts of just games and, you know, consoles back there. Cool Mario plushie. So I didn't even know that there's a South Park chef figure back there. A GameCube, the Lion King edition of Mega Drive 2, aka Genesis. There's some 32X back there. More box stuff. Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, N64. Then this is their imports section, which was actually kind of funny because a lot of it was North American stuff. A lot of it was Japanese stuff as well, but just cool to see. Look, like there's the import of N64's GoldenEye. Ooh, very rare. That's of course the American version. Yeah, GameCube stuff, Alien Hominid, which I don't know if the GameCube came out. Oh, check this out. Fantasy Zone for the PS2. That's part of the Sega Ages collection. Only came out in Japan. There was a ton of classic Sega titles that were only remastered for the Japanese market. I don't know why. We got a couple of them here on like the Sega Classics collection for the PS2, but they got tons more that we never saw. A lot of Saturn stuff, as you can see. Again, all imports. Resident Evil 4, GameCube, North American version, specifically the American version. There's Skylanders stuff and some of that Super Famicom and Famicom cartridges. Wasn't so much looking for that stuff. You guys know what I look for, but I'll show you the pickups towards the end of the video. They had this cool like PlayStation standee. They had that last time I was there, and then they just put some of the more sought after games or more interesting games back there. Up here they had some toys, and they had some PC games and other things, some formats I'm not super familiar with. This cool, they were showing me this. This was a cool, like, that thing actually rotates. It's an officially licensed, it was a Sega thing that they put into stores to advertise and show off the actual game cartridges, and they told me I forget exactly how they got it, but they picked it up in some way. And yeah, it's really cool, and it spins, of course, and it just you can put tons and tons of games on it. So of course they had a lot of Mega Drive and a lot of Sega Master System stuff over there on this thing. Sega Master System stuff is much more prevalent in Europe, of course, because the system was vastly more successful there than it was in North America. Here we got like, I think it was literally like 114 titles. Over there, I mean, that's a drop in the bucket, the amount of games that they got for the Master System. But yeah, I didn't end up picking up any Master System stuff this time. I just didn't have the space. Spoilers. But yeah, so here's this little you know, back there you got this cool Lara Croft thing. As it turns out, there's a Lara Croft Street or Lara Croft Way just down the road from where we were. I guess because Core, the original developer of the first game, actually made the game there, so they ended up changing the name of the street to that. We almost went to it and then ended up not doing that. But yeah, never mind. Doesn't matter. It's just a cool little factoid. So yeah, they got some cool items back there on the wall. There's some There's Shenmue back there. There's the North American copy of The Ring and Illbleed for the Dreamcast, D2 for the Dreamcast. Those are the owners of the store. We asked them ahead of time if we could come out and do all this, and they were really cool. They actually gave us like coffee and water and biscuits, which is essentially like a cookie, but it's a very specific type of cookie that is referred to as a biscuit. I don't want to get any trouble over the idioms, so it was a biscuit, I swear. N64 cartridges, all sorts of manuals and stuff, little guides and everything. We got Sega Saturn stuff. Nice healthy collection of PAL Saturn stuff, as well as PAL Dreamcast stuff. Now that was interesting. I don't know if you caught it there. They had Rush Rally Racing. That was an independent game. That was a custom case for it though. Somebody had put it in there. NBA Hoops, the PAL version of that's not worth anything. Now the North American version of NBA Hoops, for whatever reason, for the Dreamcast, is one of the hardest games to find. I don't know, man. it's just how it goes down. But yeah, look at all this Master System stuff. It was like I was telling you. They got way better looking spines, and they had way more games for it than we ever saw.
So that was Retro World in Darby.
Darby.
Say the Harry Potter character.
Dobby.
Tell me you can't hear the difference. I can't do it. This is a side story. 2 years ago, I went to this same store, and afterwards, I said it was pronounced Derby, and it was pronounced
Darby.
And then I said the Harry Potter character is pronounced
Dobby.
Come on!
English people, there's a world of difference. Dobby, Darby, Dobby. Oh, it's fair enough. If you're American, you do pronounce the Harry Potter's.
We pronounce the Harry Potter character Dobby,
Darby.
And we pronounce it Derby. You know why? It's an ER. Not an OB.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm surprised you didn't get punched last time. I'm just saying.
Well, because I was behind the safety of an American border. I'm all good.
That special relationship, you know.
Yeah. So what? For you the right to fly over and punch us?
Yeah, no. The right to fly over here and not be punched. Yeah, you can make those mistakes and we'll let it slide.
Yeah, that's called being polite.
Yeah.
Anyway, none of this matters. The store, that was the store, and that's a really cool store. And they were really cool to let us host a fan meetup there. So we announced it beforehand on both of our channels, and people came out. A lot of people did. It was really great. Signed a bunch of autographs and stuff, which was really unexpected. People wanted me to ruin their Dreamcasts.
I signed my first autograph.
He did.
It was amazing.
It was a big moment.
Yeah, and despite the fact it was on a Wednesday,
yeah,
people did turn up.
It was
a good turnout.
If you were there, I want to thank you for showing up. That was really cool of you. So I signed like I signed a copy of Shenmue actually.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it was really cool. Speaking of Shenmue and channels.
Oh yeah, my channel is called Shemuzo. Yeah, and you will find a link in the low bar down below. Go and subscribe to me because I'm really awesome, and yet I don't make that many videos. But if you all come and subscribe,
He means the description. That's what it's actually called.
What did I call it?
The low bar.
Yeah, the low bar. Yeah, because well, I'm old school YouTube, and we used to call the sidebar the sidebar. So it went underneath, so then it became the low bar. That's logical, surely.
But it's actually called the description.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I mean, you invented this language. Learn it.
Yeah.
It says description.
It'll be down there, and go and have a look at my channel. I don't make a hell of a lot of videos these days, but if you come and check me out, I might be inspired to do some.
I have to come over every once in a while and make sure he makes a damn video.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we thought before I jump into the pickups that I got, he's going to show you his.
Yeah, because, Retro World, really nice selection. As you'll see in the video, lots of cool shit. They
already saw it.
Yeah, well, oh, you already seen it. Okay, so like Adam, I am on a original Xbox tip at the minute and have been for quite a while. Really love collecting for that system. Not least because it has the coloured spines, the artwork on the spines.
Some of them, you got these like EA ones.
Yeah, they're all white. But if you don't know, the PAL PS2 games
slide into the shot.
The PAL PS2 games are horrible to look at, so that's one of the reasons. Also, the original Xbox, of course, more powerful, better graphics, the rest of it, lots of good exclusives as well. I'm not sure if some of these are exclusive.
Doesn't it sound nice? He's got a British voice.
It's exotic. No, that wasn't.
Well, that was when you say it like us. It doesn't sound good.
Yeah, I know. Maybe I should try and do the rest of the video in an American accent. What do you think about that? All right, stop that.
Otherwise, this happens.
Yeah. All right. I'll try to do the Scottish accent. How about that? Okay, no, all right.
Reboot.
Well, yeah, we'll stick with English. Right. So for the original Xbox, I have Dino Crisis 3. I believe that's kind of Resident Evil style.
It's a different cover art than we got.
Well, there you go. For £7 English, which thanks to Brexit is worth about 3 cents.
No, it's about 10 USD.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Used to be about 14.
You know, yeah, we got screwed on Brexit.
You voted for it.
I did vote for Leave. There is a left-wing progressive.
Right, sorry.
I will tell it just briefly. There is a left-wing progressive argument.
All right.
For Leave.
Bring up your damn
I have faith. Another world is possible.
All right, I do appreciate it. You destroyed your economy right before I got here. It's gonna be. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean any actual political bullshit.
We're gonna have nightmares about Brexit. So it's good. Right. Anyway,
show your game.
So then we got Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. I already had that on GameCube, but it's an upgrade to the OG. So that's nice. I now have all 3 Ty games on the original Xbox. Happy to have that. And then Def Jam Fight for New York.
That's really hard to find in North America now.
Oh yeah, no way.
Yeah. Over there, it's like a $35 game.
I wouldn't have given this a second thought really until fairly recently. I heard someone recommending it and saying it was surprisingly quite a good game. So there you go. Yeah. And this was all actually kind of free because I traded some stuff in.
I think that person was me.
It might well have been, yes. Yeah.
I got it.
So yeah.
So it was actually a pretty good game.
Yeah. So I only got those 3 things, but you know, I didn't want to buy. I could have carried on, but
yeah, he actually got more than I did, as you'll see in the next segment. But yeah, anything else you want to tell him? I brought him a bunch of games. You should see this whole video. I brought a whole bunch of North American exclusive Xbox games for him to check out.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll put a link to that. Let's say here. This is a good spot. You like this?
That's good. Yeah, I like
you can
that.
click there.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
And that'll have that. So yeah, anything else you want to say?
That was cool. No, just nice to have you here, and sorry for all the drama that's occurred whilst you've been here.
You should watch his video on the drama.
Yeah, go and see my channel. There's a little vlog there about some crazy stuff that's been happening since he arrived.
My bad.
Yeah, well, I will hold you accountable.
I will not accept it.
No, that's fine.
That's my country's foundation. Have your cake, eat it too.
Good. Yeah. Oh, that's about it, I think.
Do all the bad things, take none of the blame. Anyway, all right. Enjoy my pickups. So these are some of the first pickups I got. These came from a dude named Lee. He showed up and said he was a fan, and he just gave me a whole big package full of games, which was really nice of him to do. I told him, I really seriously tried to talk him out of hooking me up with this stuff, but he was very insistent. He was only there for a few minutes, took a couple pictures with him, and then he took off. So I just wanted to show these up real quick here. This is Saints Row the Third for the PlayStation 3. Forza Horizon 2 for the Xbox One, Watch Dogs for the Xbox One, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag for the Xbox One, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, which actually, this is the North American version, which I was only just noticing now, which is kind of funny, so I guess it kind of makes sense to take it back with me. Batman Arkham City for PlayStation 3, Fallout New Vegas for PlayStation 3, and Grand Theft Auto 4, again for PlayStation 3. Cool thing about both the Xbox One and the PlayStation 3 is that they're region free, so I'll have no issues running any of this stuff when I get it back, especially this one, of course. So again, thank you, Lee, for this. That was really cool of you to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed all of that chaos. And again, I want to thank every single person that came out for that. That was really, really awesome. But now, let's just show you the pickups I got from the store, as well as a couple other pickups that are tied into it. From the store itself, I personally only got a couple of games. There was a lot of Dreamcast stuff I picked up, but it wasn't for me. It was for my buddy Scott, the Canadian. So for myself, I just got a couple of titles. I got Red Baron for the PS2. Nothing special, but as you guys know, probably especially if you've been watching these videos lately, I was going after a lot of the PAL exclusives, obviously, and a lot of the PlayStation 2 exclusives especially are just hot garbage. It's just the nature of how many they had, man. It's insane. The PS2 had something like 800 PAL exclusives, when the high-end number is generally like 70. You know, and that's high-end. I mean, the N64 had 4. You know what I'm saying? So 800 is obscene. So there was a lot of them, and it seemed like there were quality control issues or something. I don't know what the deal was, but there was a lot of games that just never made their way here. Red Baron is one of them. And this is a perfect example of a quality control issue that I think this game could never have come out in North America. Babe. Yeah, you guys remember that movie? This is a game based on that movie. Sort of. See, the thing is, this game was made by a company called Blast. Now, Blast, as far as I can tell, is notorious for making video games based on American, generally, intellectual properties, films, such as Mr. Bean. Well, that one's obviously not American, but Beverly Hills Cop, Jumanji, Home Alone, Babe being one of them. There's more of them, trust me. I don't know what the hell their deal was, because when you actually play these games, the games generally have absolutely nothing to do with the movies. I'll give you an example. You look at the back artwork of this game, it shows an airport, and it seems like what you're doing is moving cones around at the airport. I don't remember that scene in the movie. What the hell does that have to do with it? I get the feeling that what happened was this company was just making a bunch of like generic games, and they just had one hell of a producer who somehow landed a deal to tie in a lot of their stuff with American, generally American intellectual property, and tie it into a movie. And so that's how you got some of the worst movie games of all time. So all they did in this case is they had their stupid airplane game, but on the bottom right corner they put a picture of a pig. Therefore it's Babe. I seriously think it had to have gone down something like that. Because the other thing about these movie games is they didn't come out when the movies came out. This came out in like 2007, you know, something like that. Home Alone, for example, that had a game in 2006 by these guys. Home Alone came out in like 1991. What the hell? But anyway, that's why I got them, because they just made me laugh. So that's what I got at Retro World. At least from the stuff I bought. As you guys saw, I already showed footage of a bunch of games I got from a guy named Lee. Again, thank you, Lee, for giving me those. When I shot that clip, I forgot about this. This was given to me by a guy named Josh, or Joshua, I'm not sure which one you prefer. He gave me this, Crazy Frog Racer. And he also included a note, which I'm going to read for you guys. So here it goes. If I were you, I'd be glad this is a PAL exclusive. You only got the sequel, the arcade racer, and if you have at least seen that, you know it's beyond Sonic 06 bad. Trust me, this is worse. It's a unique novelty to add to your awesome collection, of which I'm very jealous of. Keep up the awesome channel, and I hope you get all of your Xbox games. JDH. P.S. Do what you want with the game. But what I'm doing with the game is I'm keeping it. Now, the funny thing about this game, though... Oh, first of all, thank you, Josh. It was very nice of you. But the thing about this game is that I almost bought it the day before I met up at Retro World. I actually had it in my pile. I went up to the register, and it had no manual, so I passed on it. And I had seen it a couple of times, but either the condition was really bad or the price was more than £1 or more than €1, so I wasn't interested. Trust me, when I'm buying these things, they have to be worthless. So I wasn't willing to pay like above, you know, essentially €1, $1, £1. Granted, they're not all exactly the same, but you get my point. And then, of course, Josh ends up handing me a very mint condition copy for free. So thank you, Josh, for hooking me up with this, frankly, piece of shit. But thank you very much. It wasn't the only freebies from, you know, I got that from Josh and I got that other stuff from Lee. I never met this person, but there was a guy named Brad who contacted me, and he said he had a whole big stack of Xbox games. He said if I was wondering if I was interested in any of them, and he happened to be in the UK. And I said, you know, I pointed out all the ones I was interested in, which he found amusing because the ones I wanted were all this shitty like sports crap that's exclusive. So I told him, you know what, tell you what, I'll save you a bunch of money. Don't ship this to me. Ship it to my buddy Ben, and when I get there, I'll just pick them up. And he was like, perfect. So that's exactly what we did. And this is what we ended up with. First up is World Snooker Championship 2005. It's made by Sega, actually, which is kind of cool. Essentially, as far as I can tell, snooker is pool or billiards. Maybe there is some difference I'm not aware of. I don't know enough about it, but as far as I can tell, it's essentially that's the game. So there you go. Championship Manager 5. Unfortunately, the disc for this one does not work. I have to get it resurfaced. I might be able to save it. I'm not sure, but for now, it's just a case. Let's see, World Championship Rugby. Cool to get this one off the list, as well as Rugby Challenge 2006. Again, another one to just get off the list. None of these are anything special, obviously. Hell, I saw this one in a store for 10 pence, which is a dime, essentially. A little bit more because of the currency exchange, but yeah. So there you go. Nevertheless, Brad, thank you very much for hooking me up with those, because you saved me the trouble of having to run around and find those. Now, I also had other stuff shipped to Ben in advance because there were certain games that we both kind of felt it was very unlikely I was going to be able to find. Ironically, this is not one of them. My buddy Scott the Canadian, who I mentioned before, I picked up a bunch of Dreamcast games from him at Retro World and a few other places. He's a big Ghostbusters fan, like super fan. And so I was looking for some of those Ghostbusters. There was a bunch of PAL exclusive Ghostbusters games, oddly enough, and I was looking for them for him. And I told him, you know what might be smart, man, is, you know, try to buy some of these in advance and have them shipped to Ben, and I'll just pick them up when I get there. One of them he found, there was actually a Ghostbusters 2 game made for the Game Boy. Came out in Japan and it came out in Europe. We never got it. Oddly, he found 3 minty fresh boxed copies of it in the UK, but the Japanese version. So he bought all 3 and had them shipped to Ben. And he let me keep one just as a a thank you for being the courier to take all this stuff across. So there you go. I got a boxed Japanese copy of Ghostbusters 2. So thank you, Scott. I've already since delivered his other copies. Moving on. Ben picked up, Ben was running around whenever he got the chance. If he could find a game that was on my list, he'd pick it up. This was one that he found, although ironically this was not on my list. Brian Lara International Cricket 2005. This is a PAL exclusive, however it's an odd one. Because I already have this. I have the Australian version, which is called like Ricky Ponting International Cricket. And as it turns out, there's a 3rd version, the really hard one to find, which I don't have, and frankly I don't care about, but it's interesting to note, and I thought I'd let you guys know. There was I don't even remember the dude's name, but it's a different guy's name, and it's International Cricket 2005, and it was only released in India. That is obscure. And everyone who told me about it said, oh, and by the way, good luck ever finding it. Don't worry, I'm not in pursuit. But nevertheless, Brian Lara, International Cricket, 2005. Then finally, maybe hopefully somewhat worthwhile games, aren't just sports crap. Conan by TDK. Probably not that great of a game, but at least, it's not a sports title. It's some actual gameplay to it, that might be somewhat intriguing. But yeah, Ben ran out and he found that somewhere. Actually, I think he ordered this online. I think he found like 3 of them in a lot or something. I don't remember exactly what the deal was, but he got that for me. This one might be interesting to Dreamcast fans. I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong, whatever. Cow the Kangaroo 2, Round 2. Or Cow the Kangaroo Round 2. If you guys remember, there was a first one on the Dreamcast. The second one, at least the Xbox version, was exclusive to Europe. I know it came out on the GameCube, and I know they got it. It probably came out on the PlayStation 2. I can't imagine that it didn't. But I don't know which of those versions would have come here. All I know is the Xbox version definitely did not. So I got that. Ben found that. Now, moving on, a couple of games for other systems. This is the first Xbox 360 import I have ever acquired, and it's an interesting one. It is the triple pack. Now, if you're like me, you don't like, I do not really like digital games. I don't enjoy them. I prefer physical stuff of everything. That's just how I am. So whenever they make these like compilation discs that include a bunch of otherwise digital games all on a disc, I love that shit. But this compilation never came out in North America, which is too bad. There were 2 triple pack sets. The North American one is very simple, very easy to find. It consists of Splosion Man, Limbo, and Trials HD. Now that one also came out in Europe, and I saw it all over the place over there. But this one only came out in Europe, and I didn't see it anywhere. The only reason I have it is because I convinced Ben to buy it in advance, and he got it at shipped to his house, so I was able to pick it up. It's a cool compilation because it consists of Outland, From Dust, and Beyond Good and Evil HD. Now that's of course the special one, or the really special one. What's cool about this though, or what sucks actually, I should say, what sucks about it is that it is a region-locked disc, so this will not work on my Xbox 360. But what is cool about it is that 2 of these 3 games, Outland and Beyond Good and Evil HD, at the time I make this video, are backwards compatible with the Xbox One. And the Xbox One dropped all the region locks. So you put this disc in your Xbox One, and those 2 games will work. From Dust will not, at least not yet. If they add that game through to support in the catalog, then all 3 of them will work. So nevertheless, very cool to pick that up. And finally, for the PlayStation 4, there was one day there while I was there, I think I was still in Ireland at that point, suddenly I got a ton of messages from people saying, hey Adam, there's like this really limited PS4 game coming out, and it was called Heart and Slash. Now the deal with this game, I guess, it was kind of like limited run games, if you guys are familiar with them. There was some other company doing essentially the same concept, but not as well advertised, and they were doing it in the UK only. And I was like, holy shit, what a coincidence. I'm going to be there, or I am there at that time, depending on when exactly this went down. But anyway, I bought it and I had it shipped to Ben. It was like $20, including shipping. It was great to get that, just to get this really oddball title. Cool thing is, not only does it include a manual, it even includes a bonus music CD. Of course, the irony is you can't use this music CD on a PS4, at least not yet. Maybe they will add that support at some point. Doesn't really matter if they do or don't. But nevertheless, very cool to get this game, Heart and Slash. So that's it, guys. That's all my pickups from from Retro World, as well as from some fans. So again, I want to thank Josh, I want to thank Brad, and I want to thank Lee, and I also want to thank Scott the Canadian, and I want to thank Ben for being such a good host while I was there. And thank you guys, thank you everybody, seriously, who came out for that. That was amazing. And again, also thank you to Retro World for hosting all this. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all later.